Hello everybody. I'm going to do this as a tell me anything reading. It's a general reading. It's not for anyone specific. If you connect with it, you connect with it. If you don't, just leave it. It's a message that just really wanted to come through. I was just playing around with the cards and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do for the next set of readings, what format I wanted to do it, if what I had in mind was going to play out. And it kind of played out big time because I got these cards and they are amazing. Just to say that these two decks that I'm using, which are the Energy Oracle cards and the Akashic Tarot, they do have what I would say as a religious edge to it. So don't worry too much about the conflict if you have an established belief system and this is kind of contrary to that, or you don't believe in, you don't have any religious beliefs. Take it more as a story, an energy, rather than anything trying to be forced upon you, which is actually something that comes through in the reading. So it is just to kind of warn you in advance. It does have a slight religious edge to it, but I'm going to talk about however it plays out to you, either source energy or higher powers, or the things that are on the other side of the veil that we can't quite see, however that plays out to you. So anything that doesn't resonate with you, just leave. I'm not trying to offend anyone here or anything like that, but there's definitely some kind of ability to connect with an energy beyond our 3D reality. Now, originally at the start of this reading, it comes through as imagination. So what we actually start with here, if I show you this card, the attachment card, this can talk to me about abandonment issues, attachment issues. Maybe you had an absent parent, or you had a parent who was quite stoic and didn't give you enough love, or even the opposite, right? And a parent who is overly nurturing and you got a bit clingy. It doesn't have to be that, but that card sometimes talks to me about that. It also talks to me about it can talk about addictions, codependencies. The chain here with this post is actually coming through as some sort of crutch to me today. So an emotional attachment to something that is keeping you chained. It could be that somebody, and I hate to say this, it could be that somebody had was perhaps mistreated a little bit in childhood, and that doesn't mean like it was an ongoing thing. It could have just been one incident, right? One incident where you felt alone or you felt abandoned. Maybe like you were out shopping with your parents and you went down the wrong road and suddenly you were on your own and scared, right? It could just be a one-off event, but there's something to do with something that happened in the past. The reason why I'm saying this is I'm looking at the numbers. These two cards came out together, 5 and 41. Now, don't worry too much about the specific ages on the card, but it was talking to me about like 5 is a young age and 41 is like a middle age. So it's sort of telling me like this is something that about childhood, and this is something to do with like progression, is the way it was kind of coming through to me. So yeah, with this card, it's like the energy that it was giving me. Now you can see this person is in a dark room. It's very bare. So it's coming to me as though it's a little bit like Harry Potter in the cupboard, right? And again, you don't have to have been, it's not that you had a horrible childhood or anything like that. Like it could just be a one-off incident. Or it could even be, at night when you're alone, especially as a child, at night, alone in bed, perhaps you couldn't sleep, you knew you shouldn't get out of bed, the room was really dark, there was no stimulation where you were, it's like everything was very boring, but your mind was very awake. So what is happening is you were, again, don't worry if it's, excuse me a second, my daughter in all her Sagittarian wisdom threw a stick in the house, so thanks for that. Thanks for that, daughter. Yeah, talking about, maybe it's her way of saying, Mum, you're ignoring me, give me attention, right? Yeah, you've got this kind of like attachment issues. It's like when you're in bed at night, excuse me again. when you're alone in bed and you're, you know, especially as a child, and you're very, very bored, and you haven't got computer games or whatever to kind of like stimulate that mind. It's like your mind stimulates itself and you have a very vivid imagination. So it's almost as though as a child, someone had a ability to fantasize an alternate reality for themselves, because the way that this is coming through is like, this is where they were and this was what was going on inside. This was their imagination. It's almost giving me like Tangled, you know, the princess from Tangled, Rapunzel. She kind of has a very similar dress. So it's like imagining you're a princess, imagining you have all the riches and the wealth and the love and the, you know, the abundance and the magic power or whatever it was. It's like the reality was very plain. I'm sorry if you can hear them banging around. The reality was very plain. So you had this very vivid alternate internal reality for yourself. The seventh chakra, Archangel Uriel, is talking about the crown chakra, which is actually it's one of the chakras that develop later in life, around the age actually of 41, and if you're lucky and if you work on it. But it's kind of like the connection to source, if you like. It's the highest chakra. It's now my cat's making funny noises at the birds. Sorry, it's going to be one of those readings. She sits on the window and watches the crows and tries to make bird noises. I think she's trying to tempt them over, which is going to come back into the reading in a minute. So yeah, the crown chakra is how you receive divine messages. It's a divine connection to source energy, whatever that is for you. So yeah, a vivid inner world. What I also noticed about these cards is it's almost as though, I'll show you on this card first because I think it's more obvious. Can you see she's got very strange eyes and she's kind of like looking off into the distance. So it's talking to me possibly of somebody who is blind, or it's as though somebody is not seeing their 3D reality. They're not seeing the things that are actually there because they have almost like the sight, the vision. They can see you know, when you see something out the corner of your eye, or it's like it's almost like running a computer simulation over the 3D reality, right? When you put on VR goggles and you can see things that aren't there. So it's this if you want to call it the vision, it's envisioning a different reality to the one that you're in, or being able to see things that other people can't see. So she kind of looks blind, or like she's got something with her eyes there. And then on this card again, she's holding onto this mask and she's not really looking at it. She's not really seeing it. She's kind of looking beyond it. So normally what this comes through to me as is she's taking off the mask. She's been wearing a mask, covering up her true identity. She removes the mask and her true identity is known. So it talks to me about breaking the chains and getting away from things that you felt have restricted you with some kind of codependency or attachment issue. In this particular card here today, what I'm seeing is that this face, this mask, is actually, my cat's on the move, it's actually a different presence. It's actually as though there's another energy in the room beyond herself. So she's alone in the dark room, in the night, in the dark, and she can reach out her hand and it's almost as though she can touch the face of someone who is in the room with her, almost as though somebody's astrally projected into the room, or as though there is a spirit presence in the room. I don't want to freak anyone out, you know, that's not my aim here. I'm just telling you what I'm getting from the cards. So it's like as though this person can reach out and touch this face, but nobody else can see it, or she's aware of it but she can't see it. It's as though it's a projection. My cat wants to leave the room. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to pause and come back again. All right, so being aware of a presence beyond the 3D tangible reality in front of you, reaching out, being like the thing in the corner of your eye, or sensing a presence. And then again, it's coming through on this card. Now, I don't think I've ever read it this way before. Normally, she is the angel. She is Archangel Uriel, right? I don't know if Archangel Uriel is typically a female or a male. It's always confused me that, because on different cards it's depicted differently. But what I'm seeing here is you've got this kind of like little girl pretending to be a princess kind of thing. And then again, the angel is actually behind her. She can't see it, but she can sense its presence. It's like, have you ever like you've been really cold and someone's come up behind you and kind of like wrapped you in a warm blanket. They've put a warm blanket around you, or they've hugged you from behind. It's coming through as that. It's like you're aware of this presence in the room with you, and it feels very secure. It feels very protective. It feels very nurturing. It feels very good, right? It's not scary. I mean, it might be scary. It's like, oh my goodness, I have a sense of presence in the room. But its intention is very good. It's trying to protect you. It's trying to be a companion energy to you, is the way it's coming through. So if I also just show you this card here, daughter spirit, it's like this daughter spirit, you've always had it since you were a little girl or a little boy, you know, or since you were a child. You've always had this connection to spirit. You've always had the crown chakra open, the door open, but in childhood it came through as imagination. People may have said to you, you have a very vivid imagination, but it's actually, the imagination is the source energy. It is this creative energy that's being beamed directly into your mind, kind of thing. So your imagination is divine messages, right? The divine messages comes through to you as imagination and creativity. So if you look again at this card here, which is symbolizing for me childhood, with this this post that she's chained to. I'm sorry, just again. My children are in mischief mode today. They're very giggly. So like, I'm not going to say sorry if you can hear that in the background, because it's nice that they're giggling, but I am sorry for the extra noise and the interruptions. So yeah, can you see this spider web here between the post? It's kind of like this kind of like foamy, like spirit energy here, and then it comes into this web, which is talking to me about the web of connectivity, your ability to receive inspiration from divine consciousness. And that thread, this kind of what was a very thin, very delicate thread, it was very breakable, has actually over time, again there's this sense of time like childhood into adulthood, over time it's become thicker, it's blossomed, it's become more I heard confident, that's not the word I was looking for. It's become more, it's just stronger, it's more tenacious. And you can see almost, if this was the post, is now kind of wrapped around the post. So what I'm thinking from this is like that door cannot be closed now. It's open. The crown chakra is open. You have a direct connection to the inspiration that can come from the universe, the source, whatever that is for you, right? So it can't be closed. The door cannot close because the vines are too thick. They're kind of providing a blockage or a wedge that is going to prevent that door from being shut. Even if you try to, the door cannot be shut. The dove is coming through again to show you that this is very well-intentioned energy. This is the good spirit energy, the energy of the world that is designed to help you. So do pay attention to winged animals, right? Birds, the wings on this card, the wings on this card. Pay attention to birds, and I feel that literally, look, winged messengers. Like I pulled these cards. I pulled this deck first, worked with this deck. Then I pulled this deck, worked with this deck. And then I pulled these as kind of the advice cards. And I was like, I was already picking up on winged messages. And when I pulled these, I was like, I can't believe the confirmation. It's one of those things that I wish had happened on camera, but it was just a practice reading. And it was kind of one of those practice readings that's too good not to share. So the daughter spirit is open. Also, just to show you underneath this, you've got Archangel Michael, who is it's a guardian energy. Archangel Michael, normally when you get into tarot readings, the symbology of him, whether you think he's an actual angel, if you believe in you know, the traditional stories of him, or whether you want to take him just as the name for an energy, right? it's a protective energy. It is the person who will give you a big hug and keep you safe. It's got a very beautiful image in this deck, actually, of Archangel Michael, which I may pull out if we have time at the end. So he protects, and he especially protects children, for me at least. Again, I feel like it's this guardian energy, sort of like if you want to believe in guardian angels, ancestors who have passed on, and you still feel their presence around you. You know, it's a protective, nurturing, guiding presence that is coming through for you, especially in times where you feel like hurt or alone or scared. And it's also talking to me, if you look at this card here, again, like this this card is the Eight of Swords. It talks about being trapped. If you have felt trapped in a situation, especially a situation that's toxic or it's just not healthy for you, perhaps as a child you wanted to like run away, you know, and again, it's not saying that you have a bad situation. You could have the best parents in the world. It could just be that your parents are very ambitious, you know, they weren't around much. You felt like you didn't have anyone to talk to, you couldn't confide in them. Perhaps perhaps your parents are very traditional and they wouldn't understand what you were going through. So it can be, you could have very loving parents who are really trying to do the best, or you could, you know, if you did have a hard situation in childhood, then obviously, you know, my heart goes out to you, and you always can take steps to make your life better when you become an adult, you know. But whatever it is for you, it's like those moments when you felt alone, you felt scared, you felt trapped, especially in childhood. It's like that light has always been that presence has always been there, and it's always comforted you. It's always been there for you in your darkest moments. This kind of cloche, is it called a cloche? This kind of glass cover is also talking to me about the need for you to have that alone time, for you to have those moments of solitude, to you know, when you are an adult and you're dealing with a lot of things, and you know, life keeps giving you those lemons, you have to kind of sometimes remember to take a time out to kind of go inwards, to do the soul searching, to be alone, to be in quiet, you know, especially like you know, it's sometimes like when we get very stressed, even like noise can be very, very grating. So it's like the need to just be in complete quiet, complete solitude, to retreat back to the quiet room, the quiet space, the dark room. You know, like when you have a migraine, you go and you lie down alone in a dark room. It's like retreating back into that space where you remember that protective energy in the darkness. You can reconnect with that guiding protective energy, is how it's coming through. So, you know, the face in the darkness, like, so, and it could just be something that you didn't, you know, you were like, it's my imagination, it's my imaginary friend, it's my imaginary future husband, whatever this is for you, right? But it's protective. This is talking to me about the protective bubble, but also feeling trapped. There is a sense of codependency here with something, or an attachment issue, or something that's very deep rooted. Again, like that staff, this tree, is talking to me about things that are deep rooted, probably to do with family or tradition, or traditional beliefs that have been passed down to you. One of the things that was coming through was that it may be because you have this direct line. Okay, phone a friend, and when you phone a friend, it's God or your guardian angels or source energy or aliens. I don't know what it is for you, right? Whatever that crown chakra, right, whatever that daughter spirit opened for you, you have a direct line now. So it's almost like cutting out the middleman. So it may be, especially if you have the song that randomized for this reading, and I was going to say this at the end because this is the order of events, but it's applying now to this section that I'm talking about. Excuse me a second. All right, anything that happens in a reading is part of a reading, and it's getting so freaky now because I got up to let the cat out and close the door, and then I looked and the door was open a crack again, so I got up again and shut it again, and I just looked then again, and the door was open again. So there is a bit of an airflow. We have got windows open today. So easily explained, right? It's just the wind blowing the door open. But that does not normally happen. Normally that door does not open when it's shut. It stays shut. Unless somebody opens it or the cat opens it, it stays shut. The wind does not normally blow that door open. Just look, like, I cannot make this up. And I hope she doesn't mind me saying, one of my friends on social media, I was like so freaked out as I was setting up to do this reading, and I was just transferring some files to make the space on my phone. I was looking on my social media, and my friend had this video of all these birds right outside her window. Her window was open. She had all these birds outside her window, and she said, I feel like one is going to fly in the room. And literally on my notes, I've got, a bird may fly into your room. So open windows, open doors, energy flowing through, energy passing through, winged messages. It's freaky, the amount of, it's coincidence, right? It's just coincidence, but it's strange that these coincidences happen while I'm literally doing this reading. It's major, right? It's major. I'm convinced. I don't know about you, maybe you're rolling your eyes at me, but I'm convinced. So what I was going to say was, now that you have the direct line, okay, now you have your own connection between you and God, between you and spirit, between you and source energy, whatever that is for you. You see the book in her hands. Now, the book in her hands today, obviously books symbolize knowledge. You can see, though, she's kind of forgotten it. She's so wrapped up in her own thoughts, her own, what's going on up here, that she's almost like put the book down. She's forgotten she's reading it. It's like when you're reading a book and you kind of fall asleep, and the book kind of falls away. The book to me is symbolizing, because it's so ornate, it's symbolizing scripture. So what it could be for somebody, and again, it's a general reading, so take what resonates, leave anything that doesn't. It could be that you've always had a middleman, and that middleman has told you, this is what God is, this is what religion is, this is what, it means to follow the rule book, this is what you have to do with your life because this is what the book says. Who wrote the book, right? You now have the direct connection. You do not need the middleman. You do not need the book. Again, I'm not trying to be overly controversial here. If you have grown up in a particularly traditional environment with a particular religion and you're quite comfortable with that, I'm not trying to rock the boat in any sort of way. I'm just telling you what the cards are saying, right? So if you want to keep your book, you keep your book. If you want to keep the middleman, you keep your middleman. If you think this is not your reading, it's not your reading, you can leave it, okay? Leave at any point. I'm not trying to force any kind of beliefs on anyone. I don't have a specific religious belief. I kind of, like, my own kind of system is a bit of everything. Because to me, just to explain, my own belief is that everything is one big thing. Everything is part of a huge divine machine where everything is just a cog in the machine. So all the different religions are true. All the different manifestations of spirit are true. Everything exists in harmony and at the same time as each other. Even the contradictions are there for a reason. So everything is part of one big divine plan to me, and you can put whatever name you want to on that. It's still the same thing. I do not name it. It's all one. Is my system. So take it or leave it, right? I'm not trying to force my belief system on anyone here. You can see we've got kind of like what would you say, Christianity here, and then this Buddhist here. It's all represented. We're one big family, right? We're the human race. We're all the same, really, at the end of the day. Yes. Yes. So how it feels to me in this reading, and again, it could just be one person, so if it's not your story, leave it. It's as though this post and the book is something that you've been attached to, whether that is traditional family beliefs, culture, something that you felt has changed you. Now, as I say, no, I'll go to this first. So it's as though because he has this very balanced, very spiritual connection, he can go within and find that source energy. That it's always like the chakra energy. It comes from the base chakra, which is about here, and there are 7 chakras, I believe. Yeah, because the 7th chakra is the crown chakra. In the human body, so the energy goes up. You draw up energy from the earth up to the head, and then it continues beyond the body. There's more chakras beyond the body, and it goes up to the sky. And you can also bring energy down. This is like yoga, Buddhism, if you want to go and look into that. You can also bring this energy down. You can pull it from the heavens, the source energy, the information, the Akashic records, if you like. Pull it down, pull it through you, and ground it. The energy goes both ways. So because somebody has this link with the divine, with source, with inspiration, whatever you want to call it, they have dropped the staff. He no longer needs the walking stick. You can see there's a snake around the staff. Now that could symbolize healing. It could symbolize leadership. There are different stories of snakes around staffs. To me, it's saying that this was a poisoned staff. This was something to do with codependency. You can see something that somebody was chained to, something that somebody was codependent on, something that somebody was dependent on. This person has healed that dependency. Because they have this connection with source, they drop the staff. It's like if you ever see, very enthusiastic kind of religious meetings, especially in America. I think they tend to have them where it's, you have the preacher and they're very loud and they heal people, and the person gets up from the walking chair, the wheelchair, and they're like, oh my God, I can walk, I've been healed. I think maybe there's 1 or 2 that are genuine. My feeling is that a lot of those they're sham people, they're actors. Maybe there's a few that are miracles. Just watch out for people asking you for money, okay? Why, just have your wits about you, that there are scam artists out there. Not everybody who says something's a miracle, it doesn't mean it is because someone says it is. Yes, religion exists. Yes, I believe in miracles. Do I think humans are greedy and manipulative? A lot of them are, yeah. So just have your wits about you, okay? Not everybody is legit. If you think I'm not legit, fine, whatever. I'm just doing what I feel like I'm supposed to be doing, and whoever it resonates with, it resonates with. Like, I don't ask for money, I don't earn money for this. It's something I feel like I'm meant to be doing. So I feel like somebody is on a very similar path, actually, because we go into the light of the world energy. So to me, this is you. This is you. It's like, oh my goodness, I now have this direct link with like source energy, like with the one, with the whatever that is for you, and it's making you rich. Now it doesn't matter, your circumstances may be like this, right? You may still have nothing, but the connection, whether that is imagination, is like you are now very rich. It could be some of you that you use I'm getting it difficult because it's kind of like all interlinking now, so I'm just finding it hard to explain how this is coming through. I'll come back to the richness. If you are rich in knowledge, so it's almost like somebody who goes door to door. Now, I don't necessarily recommend that. It can be quite unwanted. Somebody knocks on your door and tries to sell you religion. It's like, I didn't ask for this. The story that's coming through here, and it's funny that it came through several times in the last set of readings I did, was there are stories of, again, pulling on another traditional belief system. There are stories from classical Rome, classical Greece, particularly Greece, where gods came to people in human form. Now, it's funny because we do not have Archangel Raphael here, and Archangel Raphael is the angel or energy that is most likely to work through human form. I think the divine is working through the person that I'm connecting with here. I think somebody is receiving inspiration, creative ideas through source energy, whether that's put down to this person's imagination, or whether it is, where does imagination come from? Where do ideas come from? It's like a direct line. You can think about musicians, right? I think there's a Jimi Hendrix song, I can't remember which one, or Bob Marley it might be. I may have mixed up my story here. There's one of the two. There's a song that was very, very famous, and he was like, I wrote it in an hour. I was kind of I just felt like I was channeling. It just flowed so easily. I didn't have to try. Everything just happened naturally. And it's like, I didn't expect it to do so well. It's like, where do songs come from? Where does music come from? Where do lyrics come from? It's you know, artist skills and all these things. It's the stroke of inspiration feels to me like it's a divine gift. You know, that kind of means that maybe you don't feel as special anymore. You're like, oh, I thought it was my idea. No, maybe it was your idea. I don't know. I'm just telling you what's coming through. So this is almost like you now. It's like you have a gift to share with the world. You have the ability to heal others through your creative ideas, through your source information, and you can share it with other people. There was something coming through in the last set of readings to do with ancestry. You know, now you can be the guiding light for the children. You know, maybe you didn't have the guiding light, maybe you didn't have the person to talk to, maybe you didn't have the you know, maybe religion for you is oppressive. Now you've found this richness in what feels more like a pure link for you, what feels more like true for you. So you can now share this with people who are younger than you. It's how it's kind of coming through. It's like you're healing something. It could also be, as I say, the gods coming to people in human form. So there's a story, if you want to look up the Odyssey, of Athena coming to Telemachus. I always call him Telemachus. I think it's pronounced Telemachus, who is the son of Odysseus. And she comes to help to Telemachus because she likes the family. And she actually comes disguised as an old man. There's a story in the Aeneid where the goddess Venus comes to her son Aeneas disguised as a huntress, a wild woman in the woods. So this is talking to me about, it could be like the old man on the bus. What's that song? Oh, it's from the 90s. Oh, what is it? What if God was one of us, just a slob like one of us, just a stranger on his bus trying to make his way home? What if, you know, all those films where Morgan Freeman shows up and he's God and he's like just this guy in a jail cell and he's like, hi, I'm, you know. It's like that person who wanders into your life at the right time and says the perfect thing and you think, oh my goodness, where have you been all my life, you know? It's that kind of energy, like the divine working through human form. So it's reminding me as well of Xenia, which is a Greek concept of guest friendship. Travellers were protected by the god Zeus, and there was a code of conduct if somebody knocked at your door. In ancient Greece, which again is a very different time from now, you know, keep yourself safe, don't just kind of let anybody roam around your home. But it was... in those times, travelling was very dangerous, and you know, the city-states, the polises were often at war with each other, and you know, as people were travelling from island to island, they needed places to stay. So the Xenia, Xenia, was a code of conduct that meant if somebody knocked on your door, you gave them food, you offered them shelter, you gave them a bed, you made sure they were warm and comfortable and well fed, before you asked who they were and what their business was. So it could, you know, it was a way of protecting travellers, a way of giving people a place to stay. And it also came with this sense of reciprocity, because if you stayed at somebody's house, you were expected to return the favour and offer them protection. So what you found with the concept of guest friendship was that you could actually be at war with another polis, and if you came into hand-to-hand combat with somebody that you had this guest friendship with, you were expected to not hurt them. It was like, no, even though we're on different sides, we don't fight. We have this divinely protected bond between us, where I can't fight this person, it would be dishonoring Zeus, right? So it's like this divine connection between two people takes precedence over the riffraff, the mortal conflicts that were occurring. So there's something to that as well. Look, with commitment right underneath it as well, you know, the bond, the commitment. We are friends, we will not fight. We are friends, we have each other's back. You stay at my house, I'll stay at your house. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. So there's something going on with that as well, right? It could be that the divine is coming and knocking at your door and saying, you know, let me in. Again, this thing with the birds coming through, the bird coming through the door here, the windows being open, the winged messages. I can't get over the imagery. So going back to the song that came through for you, and going back to this idea of putting the book down, not needing the middleman. The song that came through was Natural by Imagine Dragons. Now you can go and look that up, listen to it on Spotify. I recommend reading the behind the lyrics, the genius lyrics there, because it gives you more information about the song. What it was actually talking about was that right towards the end, the behind the lyrics said that one of the people in the band, they grew up in a Mormon tradition, and they were very against LGBTQ communities, and he was saying that as he grew older, he got more information that contradicted what he had been taught. So it's like the traditions, the things that you're taught are right and wrong, and then your own direct link, your own thoughts on the matter, taking precedent over the very old scripture that was written in a different time for different societies, right? What was right for one society, things change, things evolve, things mature, and human race evolves. So what was written 2,000 years ago may not apply, just like Zinnia and guest friendship. Brilliant idea and concept. Maybe you shouldn't just let strangers into your house in this day and age. It's not quite as safe, right? We don't live in castles with hundreds of servants and guards who can protect us anymore. We're much more vulnerable. So this is how traditions change. They don't always apply in the current world. So there's a need to innovate, a need to keep things moving. And so this is what's coming through here. So with this hermit energy, this soul searching, this ability to get the direct line, you get the inspiration, you get the creativity. Look at the imagery of this card. You get to see all the colors, right? Again, with the rainbow, the symbol of LGBTQ plus communities. So here you are putting your own input into the matter. So this is your ability to turn the wheel of fortune for yourself. It's like or it could be that the divine input is coming in. I like these two cards next to each other to do with the colors, the kind of like warm, ready colors here, and then you have like the blue of the mountains here, and then kind of like the green here. They work quite well together. And also I kind of visualize almost like a symmetrical line coming through, especially in this area with his hands, and then it has all these lines across here. So it's almost coming to me as this is you meditating, and this is like literally the hand of God giving you this divine input, right? It's coming down to you. It's like here comes that connection, right? So again, take it if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. It's like you're putting your finger right in the middle of all the the book. You're putting your input in, and from that it's like an explosion of creativity, an explosion of creative ideas, radiating this divine, very, very pure, very healing, just the highest vibrational energy that you could possibly get coming into you. And it's almost like that's radiating out from your heart now. It comes into your head, radiates out from the heart. So taking control of your own life, dropping anything that you felt chained to, anything you felt like an attachment issue to, anything that you felt has held you back, healing that, especially to do with like family tree or tradition. And then if we look underneath here, underneath these feelings of being alone and feeling trapped, you have the Chariot card. Now the Chariot is victory. The Chariot is taking the wheel of your own life and driving it forward. Normally the imagery on this card is two different horses representing yin and yang, right? The shadow energy, the light energy, the things beyond the veil, the 3D reality, whatever that is for you. Normally it's two horses running in different directions. The beautiful thing on this card is that all the energies are aligned. There's extra horses and they are riding forwards with a huge amount of passion and fortitude. So this is very much taking the wheel of your own life and riding it to victory, supported. Again, look at these brilliant angel wings behind him. Where are they coming from? They're not coming from his back. You're being pushed on by spirit. You have this you have this energy. I think it's Archangel Michael, you know, whatever that means to you, pushing you forward, driving you forward, because it's not just you, right? Yes, brilliant. God loves you, you know, whatever way that comes to you. Spirit loves you, your ancestors, your guardian angels, they loved you. You are loved by the universe. However, it's like you have a job to do. Just as, like, you know, the musicians have that moment of frenzied the flow of creative ideas and they create this masterpiece song, you also have something to do. Here you go, your own input, just to kind of show you if you didn't see that, your own input coming on in here, and then this energy radiating forwards. So you have something to do, you have something to create. It's going to lead you to abundance. It's going to lead you to, you know, the wealth of the clothes on these two, you know, the silks and the brocade and the symbolizing wealth, right? Whether that's wealth of spirit or literal wealth. I feel like it's the potential for literal wealth through some kind of creative idea or creative something that you feel very fired up about, something you feel very passionate about, something that feels for you like the right thing to do. It inspires you, right? And then it comes into the Crescent Moon card. So you can see this person is literally an artist, that he is he's creating sculptures. Again, really important, the window's open, he can see the sky, he can see the moon, he's got that free-flowing creative energy. You may have to do a bit of feng shui, right? Clear your space, cleanse. I had this for Pisces this week. So I'm going to read to you what this card says, because this is coming through as your advice card. So where did I put the book? The Six of Keys. I really feel like you've got something to do. It's almost like it feels like the right thing to do. And when you're doing it, you get very inspired. There's a lot of potential there. This is something that could turn into something very, very abundant for you, right? It could lead you to a lot of wealth, actually, because you're kind of mastering the skills. It's like you can do something that others can't, or you can do something that's very specialized. And the more you do it, the more specialized and unique and skilled you become at it. So keep doing the thing that feels like you're meant to be doing it, especially if it's something creative. A man works diligently, sorry about the dog barking, lots of noises today. A man works diligently sculpting a bust in his workroom. Behind him is a large window that overlooks the rolling hills of a harbour city. The moon in the sky points left, growing to full. This is called the increscent moon. This waxing moon on the card shows an exciting time of increase, abundance and growth. Your efforts combined with external circumstances, and even the stars have aligned. If things have been financially tight for you recently, relax. There is great opportunity for increase and fulfillment. In every way, financially, creatively, and in your own reputation and prestige. So just do your work and get ready to receive. Do your work. The universe is absolutely driving you forward here towards your success. It's like it's your reward, right? So it's like you're doing something because it feels like you're divinely guided. It's inspiring for you. It feels like the right thing to be doing. The universe wants you to do this as well because it's for the greater good. You're putting something out into the world that is an inspiration or a spark or a motivation or a something that heals others. So you get rewarded by, it could be comforts, you know, money, unexpected money coming your way. The universe will reward you. Have faith, do the thing that you're meant to be doing. There's a little mantra here for you, a little exercise if you want to do this. Close your eyes and tap into the increscent moon's power. Feel the flow of energy, receptivity and opportunity swell within you. Know that you can bring this force to whatever you wish to increase. How would you like to direct this energy now? So your other advice card that came out here with this winged messages, please pay attention to birds. What kind of bird is it? What is it doing? How is it behaving? What does that tell you? If like my friend, it was dark coloured birds and they were doing quite scary calls. Not like if you listen now. And the dog's barking. There are some like nice tweety birds, like the cooing tweeting birds outside my window right now. My friend had these dark birds outside her window and they were making quite harsh noises. Whatever that means to you, take it as a sign. Were you thinking of something and then that happened? That's like spirit saying, whoa, huge warning sign, don't do that thing you were thinking about. However, don't take what I'm telling you as as anything. Ignore what I'm telling you those birds mean. What do those birds mean to you? Okay, listen, watch the birds, listen to the birds. What are the birds telling you? You know, whether they are like good omens or bad omens, there's something for you there. I was getting to look at, again, the angel behind the bird. They bring in the messengers. The hawk actually symbolises something bad, but the dove symbolises something good. So there could be some kind of conflict here for somebody. What I was getting here with the house in the background and the chairs and the table on the grass, the kind of little story that I was getting, again, it could just be for one person. So if it's not your story, leave it. It was like somebody was being evicted from the house, or, you know, yeah, it could be like somebody was being evicted, right? It's like you have to get out of the house for whatever reason. Maybe it's like, you know, pest control. You have to get everything out of the house. We're going to, you know, dust for pests, and then you can put everything back in again. Whatever it was, it's like circumstances beyond your control. The furniture's on the lawn. You can cry about it, you can rant, you can scream, you can rave, or you can be like, this is the way it is. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. When your furniture's on the lawn, have a picnic, right? That was the little story that was coming through to me. It's like, you know, there's no point stressing about it. There's no point working yourself up about it. What is. Have a cup of tea. You know, connect. It's like, be like this. Like, whatever the external circumstances are, be like this. The universe will guide you and tell you what to do. There's no point flapping. No point flapping. So I'll read that winged messenger card for you. It's a really nice tarot deck. It's a variation on the tarot. So instead of having cups, swords, pentacles, wands, they have roses and keys and things like this. So yeah, it's the same structure as a tarot deck, but it's this person's own creative input on it, right? There's something to that, right? Something to that. Taking the tradition, taking the established formal system and putting your own creative spin on it. Okay, so I'll just flip my hair. So Two of Roses, winged messengers. I cannot stress this enough. I really feel like a bird is going to come in through somebody's window. And I think I know what kind of bird it might be for somebody, because I saw it. I saw it last night. So a white dove carries a message in his beak and flies high upon a table laid out for tea. One of the teacups has fallen over and there are broken pieces of china on the table. Below the dove, a hawk flies into the scene with a message in its beak. This card indicates a small conflict in your home or family. It could involve you and another or others in your extended family. There could be money issues around the home, an inheritance or personal finances. The dove brings a message from your spirit to call to see this little drama through your higher mind and compassionate heart. Yeah, exactly. It's like a little drama, right? Furniture's on the lawn. The dove brings you a message from spirit, a call to see this little drama. It's just a little drama. You know, it's going to work out fine in the long run. You know, the steps you can take, just calm down and you can, you know, you'll be guided. You can see this little drama through your higher mind and compassionate heart. Compassionate heart. You may feel compelled to be the peacemaker or the provider in this situation. Let yourself do as spirit guides you. Go within. What are you being guided to do? What are the winged messengers telling you to do? The hawk, a predator, shows there are times when you might have a tendency to be pulled into the fray yourself. Don't get pulled into the fray, okay? When people are being dramatic around you, when people are arguing, you know, the whole family shouting at the bailiffs and, you know, or shouting at the landlord, whatever it is, it's like, you don't, especially if there's children around, right? The children don't need to see that. So, you know, pull the children to one side and be like, you know, aren't we lucky that the chairs are on the lawn? It's a beautiful day. Let's have a picnic, you know? Isn't this fun? You know, and they'll remember that. You know, do you want them to remember all the adults screaming and fighting and things being thrown? Or do you want them to remember that day that we had a picnic on the grass? So, you know what I'm saying? Don't get pulled into the fray yourself. Resist any urge you have to get worked up, to argue. Be like this spiritual, like, just like, I love them. Like, you know, I love them. Like, it's like that nice granddad who sneaks you chocolates or whatever. And I do feel like there could be children. Either this is something that happened when you were a child, you remember getting thrown out of your house, or like, you know, if you see children who are scared, you know, how can you creatively make the situation fun? Again, I'm going to come back to that because that was kind of something I got through last night. With the hawk entering from the right, it certainly indicates that more challenges may be coming your way. Happily, your spirit is high above those challenges, so you can see them clearly and deal with them effectively. I was hoping these were going to be 20-minute readings, and this one's like so long, but it's such a big, important reading. So it's a message for somebody. It's coming through so strongly. And all the coincidences, right, that aren't really coincidences. So this is your like little guidance exercise. With a deep breath, bring your focus within you and feel the brilliant, pure white energy of your higher self. As you fill with a sense of this radiant being, invite a message from your spirit about any personal concerns that lie before you at this time. Whether you get a word, a feeling, an image, let yourself receive that message immediately. So meditate. Trust that crown chakra, that little light that's coming in, the presence in the darkness. What do you get? And at the end of this reading, I'm going to run through all the things that I got when I was laying in bed in the dark. You know, all the images, all the things I heard in the dark, right? And you can get this too. So whatever pops into your head, you know, if it's just like, it's just suddenly like think of a random word, that's the it's not your imagination, it's the spirit, it's the energy coming through to you, right? So I'm just going to show you that. You can pause and have a read of that yourself. And it's like, you don't even have to share this. If you have got a very traditional family, you don't even have to tell them that you're doing this, right? When you're on your own, when it's quiet, you know, you can just tell them that you need some peace and quiet, right? You need some time to think, and they should respect that, really. Or you can just go for a walk, you know, take yourself out of the situation, you know, depending on your age. If you're very young, obviously do that safely. Yeah, but it's like, you don't have to tell people. If you have a different belief system, you don't even have to tell them, right? You just live your authentic truth from within, and do the things that you're guided to do. You don't have to have a huge conflict with your family if you have a different belief system. It's let them believe what they want, you believe what you want, and both go on your merry ways, right? Light of the world. An old sage holds a glowing lantern and knocks on a door with no latch. A young man inside is too distracted to answer the knock. Again, you may lose that divine link, that divine guidance system, if you're too busy and stressed in your day-to-day life. So do make sure you take the time to meditate and allow that energy to come in, right? Rest, recuperate. Don't do too much. Don't get too distracted, because you're going to miss it, right? You're going to miss the guidance system, and the universe can see everything. You can only see your own circumstances. The universe has that higher perspective. They can see the whole situation. So you're missing the advice, right? Your divine is trying to get your attention. All it takes is a moment of your awareness to open the door. Though your life may be busy, the opportunity now presents itself for you to move into higher awareness. It's a great time to open to your higher self and all its wisdom and powers. So yeah, it could be just your higher self, right? This is you. This is the angelic form of you. It doesn't have to be God or guardian angels. It's just, you know, your own intuition, your own higher knowledge, whatever it is for you, right? However you choose to see it. It is your soul, your eternal being, who approaches, but it's up to you and only you to open the door. You do that by taking real and regular action in knowing and feeling the wise and radiant being you are forever. Through meditation and study, you can own that enormous love, power and vision. You can make every day sacred by going within. See, it's within you. It's the times of solitude, it's the times of quiet that allow you to connect. It's so important for you. If this reading is connecting with you, it's so important for you to do that right now. Once you do, you will know a radiant and greater power in every step and with every word. You will be able to bring this magnificent force into your world, changing your life forever. So there's something to do with being authentic as well. That princess within, or prince within, however you resonate, allow it to like this radiant heart shining, like allow that to shine out into the world. Allow your unique colours to shine out. With a deep breath, you fill yourself with the grace and peace and light of your higher self. Your vision opens to a wider universe, and you realise that you have all the time and the power in the world. Eternity fits you. Now, just as I kind of wrap up here, I was talking about Archangel Raphael, and I was surprised that I didn't see him here, because that card would be the one that tells me the divine is working through human form. Underneath Daughter Spirit, underneath Archangel Michael, we have Archangel Raphael. So there we go, that's my confirmation. You know, you've got 3 angels here, and the daughter spirit and the light of the world and winged messages. I swear, like, I didn't pull it on camera because it was just a practice reading, but it was so good I had to share it. Like, I swear this is exactly how the cards came out. I don't have an agenda here. I don't have anything to prove. I don't have anyone to persuade. You know, take it if you want, leave it if you don't. It doesn't matter to me. It's an unbelievable reading, and it's for somebody. It feels like it's also for me, right? It feels like this is like the story of me, of my life, of the things that I'm doing now by doing, you know, the tarot readings on the internet is me getting the source energy and sharing it with the world, right? Hopefully I get the abundance at some point, you know, that would be nice, but it's not why I'm doing it. So there you go. That is the reading. Now, just to kind of run through the things that I saw or heard in the middle of the night. I got a lot of messages through. I heard the word tapestries. Then I had this sense of I've been getting this thing about a jigsaw puzzle for the last few days. It's like somebody's trying to see the big picture. Somebody's been trying to get all the puzzle pieces and fit them together, and it's like I was getting this stuff about somebody having the last piece of the jigsaw puzzle, but they didn't like the picture. And the message was, excuse me, I'm so sorry, it was like a really special jigsaw where you can fit the pieces together in a different way and it will create a new picture. So you have all the pieces that you need. It's like the magician card. You have everything you need. You have all the information. You have all the tools at your disposal. But you just have to put them in a different order. You have to reassess them. You have to move things around, and then the picture will be better. So you have everything you need. It's just in the visualization of it, right? So if you don't like the picture, rearrange the pieces. I got the messages that nothing's ever wasted and that everything is here. Everything you need is here. I don't know what this says. I don't know what that says. Say yes, stay yes-o. I don't know what that is. Making something out of nothing. Now, I said I might know which bird came in through the window. I saw a robin. It looked like it was snowy, but I could just see a robin. So somebody may have had a robin coming through the window. Then I saw, it was like a small dream. I could see two men, and I got the sense that these two men were neighbours. It was like I was like looking at my house. It's like I was here, right, looking at my house. And I looked to the left and there was a man, and I looked to the right and there was another man. One of them had a big beard. And then I was in a car, and I was in what would be the passenger seat in the UK, but I think it'd be the driver's seat if you were in the US. So it depends on which side of the world you were on. But I was in the left-hand front seat. And this man, he walked up kind of in front of the car. So if this was the windshield, he kind of came up like this, and he threw something at the windshield, and the windshield smashed into because they're protected, right? They don't break, but they get that spiderweb pattern, the impact point, and the glass shatters in it like a spiderweb around it. So I don't know if that's something that's happened to somebody, but I saw it. And what did you do to upset your neighbours? And then I got what does that say? Like a spiderweb, yeah. Then I heard Pink Floyd. I didn't hear the song Pink Floyd. I heard the words Pink Floyd. And then I got She Bangs by Ricky Martin. She bangs, she bangs. Oh, baby, when she moves, she moves. I go crazy because she looks like a flower, but she stings like a bee. Okay, so sorry, I get too into Ricky Martin. I like to shake my hips to Ricky Martin. So, there you go. That's your reading with all the intuitive messages. I don't know who needs to hear it. I don't know why they need to hear it. I don't know what impact that's going to have on people. Maybe one person will watch this reading. Maybe 1,000 people will watch this reading. I don't know. It is what it is. I'm not trying to convince anyone of anything. I don't have any ulterior motives. It's going to go out into the world, and it's going to do what it needs to do. It's going to reach the people who need to hear it. And sometimes people hear it and they reject it, and that's part of what's meant to happen, right? It's whatever you get from it, whatever this reading does with you or you do with it, that's how it's meant to be, and it's going to be different for everybody who comes to it. So I hope it was helpful. I hope you've got some kind of something beneficial from it. And I'm going to bob it up on Sunday, and yeah, I'm interested to see how the rest of the readings go for this set. I hope they don't take so long. I'm aiming at 20 minutes, but we'll see. So do take care, and leave me a like if you like, subscribe, share with your friends if you think it's their story, and if you don't want to do any of that and you want to come in as a stealth watcher, I totally understand. Your homework is to go and listen to that Imagine Dragons song, Natural. It will be in the description box down below if you've forgotten the name of it. Go and see what you get from that. What does that mean to you? That imagine as well, though, this is what I was saying, it's like the imagination, right? Like the what do you call it, the simulated reality. It can talk about not liking where you are and then putting on the 3D goggles. What do you call that, the VR headset, the Oculus, and being like, this is your avatar, whatever that is for you, right? I'm going to stop waffling. Do take care, and I'll see you again soon, guys. Bye bye.